so it may not make a difference.
That's John Darby, the guy in the blue shirt. He's the new Winston Cup director.
And the man in the blue sport coat right of the screen with the dark glasses is David Hoots. He is the race director. He's the referee, basically. His call, ball or strike.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, I'm sure he's checked. He may have been wondering how that right front damage looks.
The car.
Sterling Marlin is jumping out of his car. He's going around to look at the right front fender. But, oh, he can't do that.
You can't work on your car under the red flag. That's the NASCAR rule.
Pull it off a little bit.
You're not allowed to work on your car under the red flag. Matt?
Well, Alan, down here in the 40 pit, Lee McCall, the biggest concern is that right front fender. How is it?
Well, we don't know. We don't know yet. We think it's rubbing a little bit, but we'll just have to see when Sterling comes around, and hopefully it's okay. You know, I don't know what happened out there, but it's just been an awesome day for the Coors Light race team and everybody that at Chip Ganassi Racing. All the guys back at the shop give us a great car, and guys had great pit stops today. So every how it comes out, we had a good speed week.
Sterling looked at it. What did he say?
They wouldn't let him look at it, so I don't know. I don't know how bad it is. We'll just have to, let's see. As it, we might have to come in. We don't know yet.
Hey, Matt,
Danny.
Tell Lee that they wouldn't let him pull it out. They let him look at it. They wouldn't let him pull it out.
Lee, they let him look at it, but they wouldn't let him pull it out because you know that's against the rules under red flag conditions.
Yeah, I guess.
Good answer.
I don't know. You know, again, it's just been a great day for the whole organization. Hopefully he can get it out enough.
Hopefully he can get it out. But again, you're not allowed to work on the car during a red flag condition.
That's right.
So, a couple of things that we'll wait to hear from NASCAR on. Sterling Marlin below the line.
Watch Sterling jump out of the car here.
And is he working on his car under the red flag?
That looked like a pull to me. I don't know about you.
See the official jump out of the pace car saying, hey,
you can't do that.
No. Get back in there. Well, we have seen our share of twists and turns over the years in the Daytona 500, but this one just may top them all. I mean, we've had all kinds of things happen here in this last hour of the race.
We see the 33 car up there, Mike Wallace. He told me, Andy Petrie told him, Mike, if you finish in the top 5 in the Daytona 500, we'll go to Rockingham next week. Doesn't look like the 33 is going to go to the Rockingham race.
Here's another look. Marlin, left side tires below the yellow line.
You see the yellow line and you see the cars there.
The only judgment is that NASCAR has to make here is because he's clearly below the line. Did he advance his position by going down there? Or did he come back up behind Gordon on the track? That's the call.
Well, I mean, you're not supposed to be below the yellow line, and Jeff wasn't below the yellow line and got spun out.
And the other one is he clearly was pulling on that fender on the backstretch. Clearly.
Boy, John, this is a tough. We see Mike Hilton there, the president of NASCAR, on the phone talking to someone.
That's Mike just on the left of the screen. I hear Jeopardy music playing somewhere. The referees in race control.
Talk about getting thrown in the fire, huh, John Darby?
Man, oh man, the first race. And look at how tough, what a tough calls he's got to make.
Another look at it from Jeff Gordon's onboard camera.
There we see the contact, and now we see Sterling clearly below the yellow line, but the right sides never go all the way below it.
But see, what might get him off the hook, he's behind him here. He advances his position after Gordon spins. I mean, that might be what they're thinking.
There you go. And there you see the contact.
Well, I don't imagine they're too happy in Jeff Gordon's pit.
That's not Bill. What are they saying down there?
Well, let's find out. Robbie Loomis has been on the radio talking to Jeff. He's also been... You've been doing a little lobbying here. First of all, I know you're disappointed about what happened. It looked like you were talking, A, about Sterling's position on the restart, and then B, his appearance out of the car on the backstretch, Rob.
Yeah, the restrictor plate racing, it's real important that you lay back on the start like they did to get a good run. That's what caused the big wreck back here behind him. And then when he kind of eased below the line there to turn us, and then he got out to fix it on the back straightaway under red. But we'll let NASCAR deal with it. They usually are pretty fair. The rule is you can't work on your car at all under red, and we'll see what they say.
So you made your point to the NASCAR official working your pit. What did you see on the monitor, Robbie?
All I saw on the monitor was him trying to get his fender clear and, where the thing will clear. But we'll leave it up to NASCAR. They've been doing a good job with it. We'll see what they decide.
Okay, that's the story from the 24 pit. Matt?
Well, down here in the 40 pit, Tommy Baldwin Jr., Ward Burton's crew chief from the 22 team, came down and talked to Tony Glover, the team manager. He says, look, God forbid anything should happen to your tire, tell him to pull left out of traffic and we'll go by on the high side. So if you should have some kind of trouble with that tire, if it indeed rubs and does start to go down, pull to the left and we'll go by on the right side.
That's not going to work, Matt, because if that tire goes down, the car on its own is going to the right.
I'm just looking over there. BP, look over there. I know there's a judgment call over there. We don't see any French judges in there, do we?
I don't see any place.
We'll be okay then.
Should be okay.
All right. The officials are talking about it. Trying to figure out what they're going to do. We're waiting to hear. Was Sterling Marlin out of bounds and advance his position? Did he work on his car under the red flag? What's it going to be?
Well, I think we all saw him pull the fender out.
That's pretty obvious, Al.
Yeah, we all saw that, so we know he tried to pull the fender away from the tire. Now, the yellow line situation down in turn 1, that is a judgment call, and that's up to NASCAR.
Continuing to clean up on the front side of the racetrack here, where all the mayhem happened.
Was I sleeping, or did you explain what that penalty was if you work under the red flag? What is the rule?
I'm waiting to hear what the penalty would be there. What do you do to him?
But I know guys must have worked on the cars.
I was sneaky when they did it.
Oh, okay.
They were not as clear. I mean, there's not as blatant as Sterling Marlin was. They always kind of sneaked around a little bit.
Somebody must have gotten in trouble for it. Someday.
I don't recall it.
Ever?
In my time on the Winston Cup circuit, I don't ever recall it. Someone being penalized for working on their car under the red flag. So I have no memory of that ever happening before.
And I just have no memory.
I've got in my hand a card that they give out to all the crew chiefs and all of the pit road officials, which explains race procedure penalties. And I'm trying to scan down it. And I don't see anything on this particular card about the working on the car under the red flag. So we'll follow up with NASCAR here and find out. We're waiting to hear. Separate from that, it's going to be a most interesting finish.
Sterling Marlin's got the same problem that Jeff Gordon had. He's the leader. Now they're all going to be laying back, trying to get a run on him.
If that tire holds up and if he doesn't get penalized, you got Ward Burton, Jeffrey Bodine, Elliott Sadler, Dale Jarrett all up there. And you're going to have Jeff Gordon storming from the back of the pack on fresh tires. And he's only going to have about 3 laps to do it.
Got Michael Waltrip back in 11th position as well.
Here's what they were saying down in the Sterling Marlin pits a minute ago.
Sterling, were you below the yellow line when you passed Gordon? He run me down there. My left side was below it, I believe. He run me down below it.
Team owner Chip Ganassi there.
And that was honest. I mean, that's exactly what happened. He had his left side below the yellow line when Jeff Gordon tried
to race at the tail end of the longest line, Glove.
All right, they just made the call.
The longest line or lead lap? The tail end of the longest line. About what I asked an official.
That is the message being relayed to Sterling Marlin from his team.
For what?
There is only one line. Under 10 laps to go, there's only one line. So they're saying that he's got to start all the way at the back of the field. Is that right, Wally?
Yep. And what NASCAR's determination on this deal with the yellow yellow line is, since the yellow had dropped, they say that what was happening was the 40 car went down underneath the yellow line to avoid the accident. He was not gaining any positions.
Okay. He went down under the yellow line to avoid the accident?
He went down to the yellow line. When the yellow was out, Jeff had checked up. Everybody was slowing down, and they decided that the 40 car went down underneath Jeff's car. The yellow was already out at this point now, so he couldn't advance his position anyway.
He could race him back to the yellow.
He could race him back to the line. They had taken the green flag. They could race him back to the line.
So, well,
they decided that as the wreck was happening at the start-finish line, the 40 car went down. Jeff was down there. He was avoiding Jeff, and there's one shot. Actually, you can see when Jeff was coming down, he was coming back up the track, and Sterling came back up the track, but that's what they call him.
And let's make clear, you just walked over to NASCAR Race Control to ask that, and that's the answer you got.
Right. So why is he going to the end of the longest line, Sterling Marlin?
He's going to the end of the longest line, but it would be for working on the car.
On the car during the red.
Under the red flag.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
So no penalty for going below the line, but the penalty to the end of the longest line is for working on the car under the red.
Right. Exactly. Not the yellow line is not an issue.
Okay.
It's for working on the car during the red.
And he goes to the end of the longest line. So therefore, he'll come in, they'll work on the car, knock the fender out, change 4 tires.
4 tires and go.
Agree with those decisions?
It doesn't matter either way. Whether you get penalized for going below the yellow line or working on the car, you're going to get penalized for one of those. So I don't know what's the difference.
It's fair enough. I mean, what are they going to do? Make him go the end of the longest line twice? They can't do that. I mean, so it's fair enough, the penalty. Here's the situation. The green flag is in the air. See the green flag waving? Now, Sterling Marlin is trying to get by. He clearly has the left side below the yellow line. Jeff Gordon goes down to try to block him.
Okay, now is the yellow waving right here yet?
Not yet.
Nope.
Now it is.
Okay, now the yellow flag starts waving.
The wreck was happening a long time in that picture, but I couldn't see the flag.
I don't see where that's an issue anyway.
But it doesn't matter.
Well, it's clear that the penalty on the backstretch for working on the car under the red, that was very clear, very obvious.
Right.
And he's been penalized for that.
And that's penalty enough. Yes, for the whole deal. That's once again, here's Sterling Marlin getting out of his car, going over. The right front fender is